What's going on, everybody? Rob here, Trev2323, jack of all trades, master of none. Try not to move around so much because I notice I do move around a lot when I talk. Okay, this thing right here is going to go over just basic information, basic knowledge about the heaters that I have and what I heat my house with. My house has 9.5-foot ceilings, and this house was built in 1910. What sucks for me and what I told my wife every year, but we never done, was we never insulated the walls. So if you fill this wall right here, I mean, this whole wall is, I think, 13 foot by 9 foot or 15 foot by 9 foot. It is like just a complete icicle in the winter, like right now where it's only 9 degrees out, wind chill minus 25. Okay, yeah, this is kind of ghetto right now. We didn't get new windows yet, but I do have plastic on the windows, which makes such a huge difference. But that's not just regular window plastic. That's like the thicker plastic you buy in 25-foot rolls. It makes such a huge difference that we leave it on in the summertime for the air conditioning. Now with our old thermostat, we do have an old boiler. If you follow my other videos, you've seen my boilers like really old. And when it gets down to the single-digit temperatures, my boiler just runs constantly. Like, these walls are so cold that the boiler can't get it up to 70 degrees is where I keep it at. Okay, so what I bought last year, let me show you, was this little heater right here. This little heater, it got 3 coils on the inside and you could program it. Okay, but now let me tell you the difference with that. That little heater is one of those, I think it's like a 60% efficient heater. It's by Honeywell, so you know it's a good heater. And it will take the chill out of the air in the house. It will get the chill out the air, but at nighttime or when it's really cold out like right now, if I got my boiler on, we put that on like maybe 1 degree lower than we have the boiler set. So then this way the boiler will go on for a while, but if it needs support, the little heater we put on to support it. Okay, but even with that little heater, the boiler wouldn't shut off. The boiler would run constantly with the little heater on in the really cold weather. So what I did yesterday is we had one of these leftovers from the upstairs with the kids. These baseboards, this is a programmable baseboard heater that I put along the big cold wall. Okay, I know I have to get this insulated, but it's too cold right now. Okay, now that one right there would not shut off the boiler with it cold in here. But the one behind here, behind the cold wall, once it turned on and heated this wall, the boiler shut off and it was able to maintain the heat to 70 degrees a lot better. Although when it got nighttime and it was like 1 degree or 2 degrees, the wall was warmer and it was a lot warmer in here, but the boiler did still run a lot. Now another heater that I got, let me show you over here. Yes, that's my front door with a blanket on it. The boards were actually almost not for security. The boards were because our Rottweiler used to jump on that glass when the mailman would come. But that's the Big Buddy heater, and you see I only have half of it on one side. Now that Big Buddy heater does a really good job. The boiler actually goes off also if I have the Big Buddy heater right by the front door. Now the electric one's not on over there. This electric one's not on over here. I got the Big Buddy heater on. What I like about those two electrical ones is you can program a temperature, and when they get to that temperature, they'll shut off. The Big Buddy one, it takes the little propane cans like when you go camping, and all I have is one of them in there, and I never put it on high. If you put it on high, seems like it shoots so fast. I always leave it on low. So the boiler, it did get up to 70 degrees in the house with the boiler and that Big Buddy propane heater on, but we've had it on for like maybe 4 hours, and you smell a little bit of the propane now after 4 hours, not when I just put it on. But that one does help a lot supplement our boiler. So you see I'm hurt right now, and what I am going to do this summer is I told my wife, you know, jack of all trades, master of none. If you look on that show Pickers, I have a basement full of crap. I got a garage full of crap. I'm always doing something. So I said, I'm getting rid of all that stuff. And this summer, I'm going to insulate this. Now, people say, why don't you spray foam? Why don't you spray foam? Believe it or not, I watched one article about spray foaming where people had mold in their ceiling because the spray foam company put it on too thick in some places and the outside dried before the inside, which that inside just created mold. Now, one of our major insulation companies in the area, I did call and inquire the slow growing the slow growing foam, where they put it in there and it drops in and it fills up really slow. They discontinued using it from too much complaints from odor and other people saying that they had to do work in the wall at later times and it disintegrated like a powder. So my conspiracy theory, now I don't know, I didn't cut these walls open yet, okay? I'm believing there's 2x4s in here behind this, but there's just no insulation between the walls. Now, houses that are newer than mine in the area do not have 2x4s. They have furring strips across with the plaster on top of those slats. So if that's the case, when what I plan on doing is actually cutting a perimeter around that wall, on the outside wall, insulation it with batt insulation, and re-going over it with drywall and compounding the plaster and the drywall joint compound together, and it'll be insulated. Now, if you cannot tell the difference, this wall right here, I actually knocked out a whole bedroom that was right here, and I expanded my French room. Now that wall right there is plaster going into drywall. Around the corner is drywall going back on the plaster right here. And if you see the big crack, it's because I had my house raised a couple months ago, lifted, and it cracked some of that, so I do got to repair that. So for right now, like I says, my outlook is the same thing right here. See the crown molding at the top, and it got the crown at the bottom, where I'm gonna cut the perimeter around it, not all the way up to the crown and not all the way down at the bottom. And then I'm gonna insulate it with batt insulation, and then I'm gonna shoot 5/8 drywall over it and reseal it and compound it that way. The blow-in insulation, like I says, there's a other blow-in insulation, but if it's like the denim and the Pink Panther crap, if it is just furring strips, they can't do that. So now if there's just furring strips back there, I'm not going to put the 2x4s. I'm going to put styrofoam board insulation and then shoot drywall over it. Either way, that's just some food for thought. What I'm going through with heat in my house in the single digits in Chicago, and this is 2016, and the house was built in 1910. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.